Good day, everyone. There's something you need to hear, and it might sting a little. Nobody cares. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is losing sleep over your struggles. And you know what? That is the most liberating truth you will ever embrace. Because the moment you stop waiting for the world to notice you, to validate you, to care about your dreams, that's the moment you take full ownership of your life. Most people go through life seeking validation. They want to be acknowledged, understood, and in many cases pitied for their struggles. But the truth is, the world is too busy dealing with its own problems to care about yours. That may sound harsh, but it's also the most liberating realization you will ever have. Because once you understand that nobody is coming to rescue you, nobody is going to hand you success, and nobody is going to push you toward greatness, you take full responsibility for your life. Think about it. How many times have you waited for someone to notice your effort? How often have you felt frustrated because you weren't getting the recognition you thought you deserved? It's human nature to want approval, but the danger in seeking it is that you give away control. The moment you stop expecting people to care is the moment you gain power over your own journey. Life doesn't reward those who wait to be noticed. It rewards those who take action despite the lack of acknowledgement. If you're constantly looking around wondering why no one sees your struggles, you're wasting energy that could be used to improve yourself. The time you spend feeling frustrated about not being recognized is time you could be using to sharpen your skills, build something meaningful, or take another step toward your goals. Look at the people who have truly succeeded. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't complain about not having support. They simply did the work, and eventually the world had no choice but to pay attention. The sooner you stop looking for a handout, a pat on the back, or some external push, the sooner you can get to work on what actually matters: your growth. One of the biggest obstacles to success is the belief that someone else is responsible for helping us get there. Maybe you think your boss should notice your effort and give you a promotion. Maybe you think your friends should encourage you more. Maybe you believe that if people truly cared, they would support your dreams. But the truth is, the only person who owes you anything is you. The moment you stop expecting outside validation and start moving forward regardless, you unlock a level of freedom most people never experience. Freedom comes from taking full ownership. If nobody cares, that means you don't have to wait. You don't have to seek approval. You don't have to adjust your dreams to fit someone else's expectations. You are in complete control of how hard you work, how disciplined you are, and how much effort you put into your craft. That realization should excite you because it means nothing is stopping you except this isn't about isolating yourself or rejecting support when it comes. It's about understanding that whether support is there or not, your path remains the same. If people cheer for you, great. If they don't, you keep going. Because the reality is, most people won't care about your struggles until they see your success. And by then, it won't even matter to you anymore. So stop waiting. Stop hoping for someone to notice. Stop feeling like the world owes you something. It doesn't. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll start doing the work necessary to build the life you want. Because once you embrace the fact that nobody cares, you are free to stop seeking approval and start focusing on what truly matters, becoming the best version of yourself. We live in a world where words are everywhere. People talk about their dreams, their goals, and their plans. They post about their ambitions, tell their friends what they're going to do, and promise themselves that change is coming. But words on their own mean nothing. Effort is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck in the same place. You can say you want to be successful, but if your actions don't match your words, then what do they really mean? How many times have you heard someone say they're going to get in shape, start a business, write a book, or improve their life, only to watch them stay exactly where they are? The reason is simple. Talking feels good. It gives a temporary sense of progress, but words alone don't create results. Effort does. Effort is what moves you forward when motivation fades. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Some days you feel unstoppable, and other days you don't feel like doing anything at all. But effort isn't based on feelings. It's based on discipline. It's about showing up every single day, even when no one is watching, even when you don't feel like it, even when progress seems slow, even One of the biggest reasons people don't achieve their goals is because they think saying something is enough. They assume that once they've announced their intentions, things will start falling into place. But effort is the only thing that turns intention into reality. You can say you want to run a marathon, but if you're not training every day, you won't make it past the first mile. You can say you want to be successful, but if you're not putting in the hours, learning, failing, and growing, success will remain just a concept, not a reality. Effort speaks for you when words no longer matter. Imagine two people in a gym. One talks about getting stronger, how they're going to lift heavier weights, how they plan to transform their body. The other says nothing, but shows up, puts in the work, and makes progress week after week. In the end, who do you respect more? Who is actually moving forward? It's always the one who does the work, not the one who talks about it. This applies to every area of life: your career, your relationships, your health, your personal development. If you say you want to be a better leader, but you're not actively improving your skills, listening to feedback, or putting in the time, then your words mean nothing. If you say you want to be financially free, but you're not saving, investing, or developing new skills, then financial freedom will remain just a wish. The truth is, results don't come from what you say you'll do, they come from what you actually do. Your effort will always reveal the truth. When you work hard, when you push through challenges, when you show consistency, people will notice. Not because you told them, but because your results will speak for themselves. One of the biggest lessons you can learn is that nobody owes you recognition for your effort. You don't need to announce how hard you're working. You don't need constant validation. The only thing that matters is whether or not you're doing what needs to be done. If you are, success will come. And if you're not, no amount of words will change that. So the next time you catch yourself saying what you're going to do, stop and ask yourself, are my actions backing up my words? If the answer is no, then it's time to stop talking and start doing. Because in the end, effort speaks louder than words, and results speak the loudest of all. Self-discipline is the foundation of success. It is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It separates those who achieve their goals from those who only dream about them. While motivation may get you started, it is self-discipline that keeps you going when motivation fades. Think about it. How many times have you set a goal, felt excited about it, and then lost interest a few weeks later? This happens to almost everyone because motivation is temporary. It comes in bursts. You might feel inspired after watching a video, reading a book, or hearing a great speech, but that feeling doesn't last. The real test is what you do when the excitement is gone. This is where self-discipline comes in. Self-discipline means making a commitment to yourself and following through no matter what. It means waking up early to work out even when you'd rather stay in bed. It means staying focused on your work even when distractions are everywhere. It means keeping your promises to yourself even when no one is watching. One of the biggest myths about successful people is that they always feel motivated. The truth is they don't. What they have is self-discipline. They have trained themselves to take action whether they feel like it or not. They understand that waiting for motivation is a losing game because motivation is unreliable. If you only work hard when you feel inspired, you will never achieve long-term success. Self-discipline is about building habits that make success inevitable. When you discipline yourself to wake up at a certain time, to follow a routine, to put in the work every single day, success becomes a byproduct of your habits. You no longer need to rely on willpower because your actions have become automatic. Consider a professional athlete. They don't always feel like training, but they do it anyway. They know that skipping practice isn't an option. They understand that greatness is built in the small daily decisions that add up over time. The same principle applies to any goal, whether you want to build a business, get in shape, or master a skill. Self-discipline is what will get you there. The hardest part of self-discipline is overcoming your own excuses. Your mind will always try to convince you to take the easy route. It will tell you that you can start tomorrow, that one more break won't hurt, that it's okay to quit because things are hard. But discipline means ignoring those excuses and doing what you committed to doing, no matter what. Many people believe that self-discipline is restrictive. that it takes away freedom. But the opposite is true. Self-discipline creates freedom. When you have the discipline to manage your time effectively, you gain the freedom to do more of what you love. When you have the discipline to take care of your health, you gain the freedom to live a longer and more active life. When you have the discipline to master your craft, you gain the freedom to choose the opportunities that come your way. Success in any area of life is not about luck, talent, or intelligence. It is about discipline. It is about consistently putting in the effort, even when it's difficult. The people who achieve their goals are not the ones who wait until they feel like it. They're the ones who show up every single day and put in the work, no matter what. So if you truly want to change your life, start by developing self-discipline. Train yourself to take action, even when you don't feel like it. Build habits that make progress automatic. Ignore your excuses. Stay consistent, because in the end, self-discipline is the difference between wishing for success and actually achieving it. One of the biggest obstacles to success is the habit of constantly comparing yourself to others. It's something we all do, whether we realize it or not. We look at people who seem to be ahead of us, who have the success we want, and we start feeling inadequate. We wonder why we aren't as accomplished, as wealthy, as fit, or as talented as they are. Instead of focusing on our own journey, we get distracted by theirs. And in that distraction, we lose progress. Comparison is the thief of progress because it shifts your focus from what truly matters, your own growth. When you spend too much time watching what others are doing, you take your eyes off your own work. Instead of improving your skills, you dwell on why someone else is better. Instead of being proud of your progress, you feel like you're not doing enough. Instead of building your own path, you try to follow someone else's. And the result? You stay stuck. It's easy to compare because social media and the internet make it unavoidable. Every day you're bombarded with images of people living seemingly perfect lives. You see entrepreneurs making millions, athletes in peak condition, people traveling the world, and influencers showing off their success. What you don't see is the struggle behind the scenes. You don't see the years of hard work, the failures, the sacrifices, and the setbacks. You only see the highlight reel. And comparing your reality to someone else's highlight reel is not only unfair, it's destructive. When you focus too much on others, you lose sight of your own potential. You start questioning your abilities. You begin to feel like no matter how hard you try, you'll never catch up. And that mindset leads to procrastination, self-doubt, and ultimately, inaction. Progress isn't about how fast you reach a goal compared to others. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday. Think about it like a race. If a runner keeps looking to the side, checking where their competitors are, they lose speed, they lose focus, they risk tripping and falling. But the best runners, they keep their eyes forward. They focus on their own stride, their own pace, their own progress. That's what you need to do in life. Success is personal. Everyone starts from a different place with different resources, different challenges, and different timelines. Just because someone else reached success faster doesn't mean you won't get there. And just because someone else is doing things differently doesn't mean your way is wrong. Your only competition is yourself. Instead of comparing, use others as inspiration, not as a measure of your own worth. If you see someone succeeding, don't let it discourage you, let it motivate you. Study what they did, learn from their journey, but don't let it take away from your own progress. The key to overcoming comparison is shifting your focus inward. Track your own growth. Measure your progress based on where you were last week, last month, last year. Set personal goals and celebrate your wins, no matter how small. When you focus on your own path, you'll find more fulfillment, more motivation, and more success. At the end of the day, the only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. If you keep improving, keep learning, and keep moving forward, success will come on your own terms, in your own time. So stop looking sideways. Focus on your own journey, because comparison doesn't just steal happiness, it steals progress. And the only way to win is to stay focused on becoming the best version of yourself. Growth is not something that happens by chance. It is not something you wish for, dream about, or wait to come your way. Growth only happens through action. It comes from doing, from taking steps forward, from making mistakes and learning from them. The problem is, too many people believe that simply wanting something badly enough will make it happen. They believe that if they hope, if they think about it enough, life will somehow hand them what they desire. But life doesn't work that way. Hoping for change without taking action is like standing in front of a locked door and wishing it would open. No matter how much you want it to, no matter how long you stare at it, the door will remain closed until you decide to turn the handle and push. The same applies to your goals. You can hope to be successful, hope to be in better shape, hope to start a business, or hope to improve your life. But until you take action, nothing will change. Many people get stuck in a cycle of waiting. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions. They tell themselves that they will start tomorrow, next week, or next year. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. The perfect time is now. Growth doesn't come from waiting. It comes from taking the first step, even when you feel unprepared. It comes from showing up, even when you don't feel ready. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that they need more motivation before they can take action. They believe that they need to feel inspired first. But the reality is that action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you take action, when you push yourself to start, even in the smallest way, you create momentum. That momentum builds motivation, and motivation fuels more action. Think about the last time you avoided something difficult. Maybe it was a workout, a tough conversation, or a challenging project. At first, you probably dreaded it. But once you started, once you got into it, it wasn't as bad as you thought. In fact, by the time you finished, you likely felt good about it. That's the power of action. The hardest part is starting. The people who achieve real growth in life are not the ones who sit around hoping. They are the ones who take action even when they don't feel ready. They are the ones who fail, learn, and keep going. They understand that mistakes and setbacks are not reasons to stop, but opportunities to grow. Every failure teaches a lesson. Every mistake reveals an improvement. Every setback builds resilience. But none of that happens if you don't take the first step. If you want to become stronger, you have to lift the weights. If you want to become a better writer, you have to write. If you want to build a business, you have to start. Thinking about it won't make it happen. Wishing for it won't make it real. Action is the only way forward. So stop waiting, stop hoping, stop telling yourself that someday you will start. Growth happens when you do. It happens when you take risks, when you challenge yourself, when you push through discomfort. It happens when you stop making excuses and start making moves. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Every effort you make brings you closer to your goals. And when you look back, you'll see that real growth didn't come from hoping. It came from doing. Success is not an accident. It doesn't happen randomly, nor is it simply a matter of luck. Success is the result of consistent focus, of dedicating your time, energy, and effort to a specific goal without letting distractions pull you away. The reason so many people struggle to achieve success isn't because they lack talent or intelligence, it's because they lack focus. We live in a world full of distractions. Social media, entertainment, news, and even the expectations of others constantly fight for our attention. Every day we are pulled in multiple directions, and if we are not careful, we end up spreading ourselves too thin. When you try to do too many things at once, you make little progress in any of them. But when you focus deeply on one thing, when you direct all your energy into it, you create momentum. And that momentum leads to real success. Think of focus like a magnifying glass under the sun. If you keep moving the glass around, nothing happens. But if you hold it still, concentrating the sunlight on a single point, it creates fire. The same principle applies to success. If your energy is scattered, nothing meaningful happens. But if you channel all your focus into one goal, you create results. One of the biggest mistakes people make is constantly switching goals. They start one thing, then get distracted by something else that seems more exciting. They chase too many opportunities at once, thinking that more options will lead to faster success. But in reality, divided focus only leads to mediocrity. The people who truly succeed are the ones who commit to a single direction and see it through, no matter how challenging it gets. Success is a byproduct of discipline and clarity. You need to know exactly what you want and then eliminate everything that doesn't contribute to that goal. This means saying no to distractions, no to unnecessary commitments, and sometimes even no to people who don't align with your vision. It means prioritizing long-term gains over short-term pleasure. When you study the most successful people in the world, one thing stands out. They are incredibly focused. Athletes dedicate years to mastering their sport. Entrepreneurs spend countless hours refining their businesses. Artists pour their energy into perfecting their craft. They don't allow themselves to be pulled in different directions. They commit fully, and that commitment leads to greatness. But focus isn't just about avoiding distractions. It's also about persistence. There will be challenges, failures, and setbacks along the way. Many people lose focus when things get difficult. They start strong, but give up when progress slows down. The key to success is staying focused even when things aren't going your way. It's about pushing through boredom, frustration, and self-doubt. Another important part of focus is avoiding comparison. When you constantly look at what others are doing, you risk losing sight of your own path. It's easy to get discouraged when you see someone else achieving faster results. But their journey has nothing to do with yours. Focus on your own progress. The only competition is the person you were yesterday. Success is not about doing 100 things at once. It's about doing a few things with excellence. It's about showing up every day, improving little by little, and refusing to let distractions steal your momentum. The more focused you are, the more progress you will make. So if you want to achieve success, stop chasing every opportunity that comes your way. Stop letting distractions control your time. Choose your goal, commit to it fully, and give it everything you have. Because success is not something